Coming up today on the Ministry of Car, what you should do when you buy a new used car, a new used sports car, or any used car for that matter. We review 1 week with this 987.2 Boxster S, and I also reveal its name. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Ministry of Car. I'm Utkarsh coming to you from Singapore. You catch me in a drive. Today is, what date is it today? Sometime in early March. My new to me 987.2 Boxster S. It's a 2010. You guys may have seen the first two videos. And I wanted to do three things because I've had this car. Today is Monday. I literally picked it up the Friday before last week. So I've had it for 10 days, give or take. I've not had it for the entirety of the time because taking opportunity of the fact that I just got the car, I'm at the beginning of the ownership. This is the time that I usually choose to overinvest. Not overinvest in driving the car, but overinvest in doing what needs to be done for the car. This is my usual philosophy because when it comes to maintenance, excuse that, just a little bit of opportunity to stretch his legs. When it comes to maintenance, people can have different approaches, but I always believe in preventative maintenance up front and you reap the rewards later. So when I got this car, I knew that it needed a few things. It's a 16-year-old car, it's a low mileage car, only 78,000 kilometers, under 50,000 miles, but it is a 16-year-old car. So during the pre-purchase inspection, we discovered 2 or 3 things. The first big one really was that the rear suspension was worn. It was basically worn. So everything from the absorbers to etc. I'll give the list later. We needed to get new parts for the rear suspension. Everything had worn down. That was thing number 1. Thing number 2 was tires. It needed new tires. So again, wear and tear basically. And the third one, which is not wear and tear, but something to just know, is that there was a slight leak indicating something to do with the valve cover gasket. Probably needed a new valve cover gasket. So those were the 3 things that the pre-purchase inspection revealed. On the day 1 of me picking up the car, I found out one thing else, because late at night when we were supposed to go and get a nice ice cream, the roof was open and refused to go back up. That issue was quickly resolved the next day through a wonderful Porsche specialist workshop. You've seen it in my previous video. It was just one loose, not a loose switch, but one loose part of the electrical circuit that needed to get fixed. It was a very small soldering job, so that got fixed. And that was it. So Tuesday morning, just as I'm driving over, I start the car and I start driving. And remember, this is the key thing to know when you're buying an older car, particularly an older sports car, particularly if you're buying a low mileage car. Because what happens with low mileage German cars, particularly in hot climates, every climate has its own pros and cons. But what happens here is you have a lot of rubber parts that if they're not being used regularly, they can shrink with time or they can get brittle with time. And this particular car, right, very low mileage, totally stock. This was clearly someone's second car or third car. Maybe they drove it once or twice in the weekend, barely drove it, less than 4,000 or 5,000 kilometers a year. So when I started driving the car on Tuesday morning, remember I already had the roof go out on me because of a loose connection. That got fixed very easily. I started the car and I started getting this high-pitched whining sound. It almost sounded like supercharger. I know my car is not supercharged. So I was like, what is that sound? And I was driving. It was a whine. It was a nice whine actually, but it's not expected because I'm not driving a Mercedes Vision SLR. SLR, right? Supercharged engine. So what was with the car? But anyways, I drove it to the workshop. I handed it off to the guys, and then I kind of Googled it. Some said it could be do with the pulleys in the engine. Some said it had to do with the steering column, the power steering, hydraulic fluid. In fact, when I went back to my car park and I looked at the area in the car park below me, I noticed that hey, there's actually a leak happening over here, and it was towards the front of where the front of the car was. So that gave me kind of an indication that it had something to do with the steering, with the power steering. And of course, that is what it was. Initial prognosis was not very good because what they told me is that originally, if you want to really get the entire full part from Porsche, you can get it, It's expensive-ish, maybe a couple of $1,000s, but more than that, it takes a month to get. And the prospect of going without a car for a month was not ideal. But of course, my shop being what they are, they're very creative and they've worked on these sort of situations before, so they knew exactly what to do. So they have another local fabricator here in Singapore who can actually repair the actual part with the pipe and everything and get that whole thing fixed, that you don't need to replace the whole part from Porsche. A bit Matt Armstrong style, I would say, in a way to say that they improvise. They try to see what's the best way to achieve a good ideal solution. So they fixed the pipe for me. So net, I got a few things done on the car, and when we stop, I'm going to show you the bill. Didn't cost me that much actually. Everything altogether cost me about 3,000 Singapore dollars, 2,500 US. This includes all the parts of the rear suspension, valve cover, gasket, got the wipers changed because the wipers were making some sound. Basically everything around that. I'm going to go through part by part. So I got that done. And the good thing is, I thought that this thing is going to take time. So I actually delayed my tire appointment to like Monday. I was fully prepared for the car not to be there with me on the weekend. But lo and behold, they were done ahead of time. Thursday night, they said things were looking very good. Everything was done. And Friday afternoon, actually, they called me and said I could pick up the car. And so I did so. And then, I was like, okay, I would love to have new tires on the car as well. Since suspension is done, the car is already, I just needed new tires because I had just not been pushing the car because the car was on 8-year-old tires. Not that I pushed the car much on the road anyway. But, I like having things in a working condition. So I was just not driving the car the way I would like to drive it because it had 8-year-old tires on it. So I called the tire shop. Was there any chance that they could squeeze me in on Friday afternoon? And guess what? All due credit to them. This is Auto Kinetics in Singapore. So anyways, on Friday they were able to accommodate me, and I took over the Porsche Boxster. They put the new Michelin PS2 tires on them. Got an alignment done. Everything was great. And guess what? Friday night, exactly one week after I collected the car was there in perfect shape. So what we're going to do in a couple of seconds now is I'm going to stop the car at my usual spot. We'll go over the work that got done by V8 Motorworks on my car, the major wear and tear, everything from the valve cover gasket to the creative solution for the steering column. And once these cars let me go, and I'll also show you around the car about a few elective things that I'm planning to do. Elective because they aren't necessary, but they are just kind of my observations on how perhaps I would like to improve the car. Alrighty folks, so we have stopped over here. I'm just opening up my my WhatsApp because I have the bill that I got from V8 Motorworks, and we're going to go over what I got done. So just opening it up over here. So the big one, power steering hose that instead of getting a $2,000 part, they were able to replace it, repair it, new tube, only 260 Singapore dollars. Then all the wear and tear parts, rear absorber stopper, rear absorber spring, rear absorber dust cover. So all four of them, 820, all two into each. So $820, 105, 60, 95. So total about basically 2,000 Singapore dollars, $1,500. So basically new rear suspension. Not cheap, but not that expensive. I think it's quite okay, right? It's quite okay because again, this is now that I have new rear suspension. This is going to last another whatever 80, 90,000 kilometers. The length of this has lasted, so it's just once in a while. Then the valve cover gasket and oil separator, so not very expensive, $160, 95. Labor is a big part of this. We'll talk about the labor charge for overall. So around $250 in parts. Top up air conditioning gas, $50. Wiper blade, 2 parts, $40. And labor, $450. Very reasonable given the amount of work they had to done. So the whole amount is $30 to $100. So yeah. So there we come into what was the elective bit. Now what was a necessary bit? Just for the tires, let me just show you my bill for that as well. So I have Auto Kinetics open in front of me. So what I have over here is 235 by 40, 18, because they're not the same size of tire in front and back. With tire installation, balancing, $630. The rears are 265 by 40, 18 inch. By the way, I'm sticking to 18 inches on this car. It's really good. The ride quality is decent for this kind of car. I don't want it to be any harsher, and still it handles so sharply. $850, and then wheel alignment $100. So altogether $1,500, or maybe about in US dollar terms $1,100 for everything including alignment. I'll take it. I always go for the highest quality tires. Now let's get to the last order of business, as I think I just begin the drive back. What have I named this car? And what else do I plan to do with it in the coming weeks and months? I've named this car Project Mocha. One, of course, is the color. This color is called Macadamia. Some would call it brown, but it's not really brown as such. It's more of a, what should I say? It's more of a grayish brown. So it is a warm color. It's not a cool color, but it's kind of a very cool brown. So it's a very interesting color. It's a very rare color for Porsche. They were kind of pushing it in 2009, 2010. It was the brochure color for the 911. I don't know if it was 911 Turbo, but it was the brochure color for the 997.2 911. So it was a popular color around the time that this car was spec'd in 2010. I like it. And as I've talked about before, my first car was very similar, which I bought in 2011 around the same time, of Scirocco. So I decided to call the car Mocha, referencing the brownness and the color, and also the fact that I'm quite the coffee drinker. And I'm not someone who actually likes black coffee. I actually love chocolate in my coffee. So Mocha is really my thing in a separate series, and I plan to start perhaps a series of convertibles and coffee with my wife. But we'll talk about where to get the best Mocha in many places, particularly in Singapore. For now, I hope this was helpful. Hopefully this gave you a sense of what you should do when you get a new car, a new used car, especially a sports car. And I'll see you next time.